Hello and welcome back to the Smart Recovery series, Tips and Tools for Recovery That Works. On today's show, we're going to analyze a key component of the Smart Recovery Toolkit, and that's unconditional self-acceptance, or USA. It's an important exercise because, as anyone in recovery knows, addiction to any substance or behavior generates a host of emotions, many of them quite negative, that can undermine your feelings of self-worth. And these negative feelings can create an excuse or a need to re-engage in your substance or behavior of choice as a way to make those feelings go away, albeit only temporarily. More use equals more negative feelings, so you get caught in a vicious downward spiral. One of the core values of Smart Recovery is that you are not your behavior. In other words, your value as a human being is totally separate from your addictive behaviors. In fact, it's separate from everything and everyone around you. For your recovery to work, you need to develop the tools to establish your self-worth independent from outside circumstances, perceived realities, or other people's or society's opinions of you. For instance, unless you grew up in a Buddhist monastery in Tibet, all of us live in a culture that values financial and professional achievement, things. And once we achieve those things, society tells us that we will be, in fact, we must be, happy as a result. But life doesn't always work like this. Not everyone succeeds financially or professionally at the same rate or to the same degree. Now, professional achievement is great. Nobody's telling you to take your foot off the gas at work, and our modern economy would probably collapse without personal ambition and drive. But let's put this into perspective. Every study ever done shows conclusively that professionally successful people are no happier than anyone else. In many cases, the stresses involved in achieving or maintaining that success causes a great deal of unhappiness. Why? Well, it's because our culture teaches us that achievement is a zero-sum game where there have to be winners and losers. Winners are happy, losers are forgotten. But again, life doesn't work like that. Homo sapiens' success as a species was built on altruism and cooperation. Every study ever performed on workplace happiness and productivity shows that non-zero-sum things like teamwork and helping others succeed alongside you are much better path towards long-term professional success and profits. Why else would there be so many management books about teamwork? The same is true of wealth. Take lottery winners. If the existing paradigm were correct, you would expect all lottery winners to be incredibly happy. But again, every study ever done on them paints a different picture. Regardless of how much money they've won, their level of happiness and feelings of self-worth eventually return right back to where they started. And in many cases, like in the big jackpot lottery winners, we see their lives actually destroyed by the sudden acquisition of so much wealth. The zero-sum expectations that society imposes on us also apply in the realm of emotions too. Women are especially vulnerable because their feelings of self-worth have been linked to their appearance, their desirability as sexual partners, or men's opinions of them. As a result, there are tens of millions of women in the US, probably hundreds worldwide, with eating disorders, many of them life-threatening. Now luckily, we as a society have seen great improvements in women's professional achievements and pay equality over the years. But the Me Too movement also reminds us there's a lot more work to be done. Bottom line, unconditional self-acceptance tells all of us, man, woman, binary, straight, gay, whoever, to realize that who we are is the only thing that really matters. This tool helps us understand and accept some of the elemental truths about ourselves. We are not our jobs. We are not our bank accounts. We are not our dress size. We are not defined by how many people like us or even if anybody likes us. And this last part is crucial when it comes to recovery. People suffering from addictions or behavioral problems constantly feel judged. You can't stop someone from judging or thinking about you in a certain way. It's out of your control. Your only responsibility to yourself is to do your best and truly believe that your best is good enough for you. Dwelling on any other outside criteria or expectations or judgments is a recipe for unhappiness and a threat to your successful recovery. I'll leave you here with a beautiful explanation of unconditional self-acceptance that's quoted from the Smart Recovery Handbook, and it's written by Nick Grajacek, who we are proud to have as a Smart Recovery meeting facilitator out of Michigan.
I accept myself because I am alive, and I have the capacity to enjoy my existence. I am not my behavior. I can rate my traits and my behavior, but it is impossible to rate something as complex as myself. Myself consists of innumerable traits, not just this one. I strive for achievement only to enhance the enjoyment of my existence, not to prove my worth. Failing at any task cannot make me a failure. I can choose to accept myself even if I'm unwilling or unable to change my character defects, because there is no law of the universe that says I can't. My approval of myself cannot come from pandering to any external source or bowing to any external authority. My self-acceptance can only come from me, and I am free to choose it at any time.
Hey, I hope these smart recovery exercises really help. If you've used them, we'd love to hear from you. Drop us a line at tipsandtools@smartrecovery.org. And as always, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for another episode of Smart Recovery's Tips and Tools for Recovery That Works.